Welcome to the Mother-Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Aungelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today. Happy May the 11th, and today's show I got the wild card back again, aka Paiton, aka I don't know all that stuff she AKA'd, but anyway, we have the wild card back, and I'm going to be leading her on this conversation. And today we are going to be discussing best and worst memory ever.
Yay. Dun, dun, dun.
The only thing I think weird about best and worst memories is that you can be 20 years down the road and the memories pop up in your brain while you're minding your business. I just be minding my business. But you know, my friend Louise, she says whenever something negative pops up in her mind, she acknowledges it by saying thank you for sharing, and then she moves on about her business, because she's like, you know, we can't control what our brain decides it wants to bring up from 45 years ago, and it just happens like that. So tell me, Paiton, aka whatever else,
wild card, aka P, Breezy P, Money P,
what is your best and worst memory ever? Let's start with the best.
Yes. My best memory ever is just being able to be Paiton. Like, that's such a good memory. Okay, so
my best, an Aquarius answer.
My best memory is probably that trip that I took just off the whim, because it was something that I'd never done before. I get really excited when I do things I've never done before, because they hold a little spot in my head forever. Like, things that I do. So
spontaneous things.
Yes. Because I'm an adventurous person. I like to do new things. But like, when I experience stuff that I've never done, and I can remember all the fear and anxiety I had prior to doing it, because I'm like, this is something I've never done. Like, why? But then I do it.
Why do you question why?
Because not why why I'm doing it, but like why.
Like, why the opportunity?
Why? That, it's not like I'm questioning what's going on, but it's just like, okay, this is really about to happen. So I was literally like sweating before I got on that plane and everything like that, because it's like, I've never done this. And then my mama not there, so she can't save me. I'm in a different state.
You go down there calling me, telling me, they ain't picked me up from the airport.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's just everything trickles down, and the world is crazy right now. So it's just like, and then my worst memory, my worst memory is when I almost died in Mexico.
Oh my God.
Trying to save that little girl from drowning.
Oh my goodness.
I would never forget it, because it wasn't.
What happened? Y'all decided to walk out too far, or was y'all talking to other people?
I was minding my business, just doing my due deal.
As usual. Okay.
And I remember her telling me that she cannot swim, and I was like, okay, that's fine, girl. Just as soon as you feel like it's getting too high, you better,
Right, and for me, too high is ankles. Go ahead.
Exactly. So, so the water started getting high, and I know you remember, you were there too. You remember, like, the tide started getting really, really bad.
Yeah, for some reason that day it seemed, and see, I don't know a lot about tide and how to judge it, but it seemed like it was kind of high that day.
It was.
Or it seemed rough.
Yes, yeah. So the tides be changing, and I think really in that moment, like, was the tide changing? Because I looked at the time and everything, like, I know what times the tide changed. But anyway, so yes, and I'm just like, I'm standing there and I see her getting further and further away from me, and I'm like, okay, hold on. And she's like,
was she getting further because the water was
pulling,
okay,
like,
gotcha.
Literally pulling her.
See, that's why I don't trust the water like that.
I started going back there to her, like, I'm like, I'm swimming. I'm like, let me go get her. So I'm going back there.
Was she saying anything?
Yeah, she was calling my name.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like going back there towards her, and I'm now starting to understand why she's panicking, because like, even I'm trying to swim, and every time a wave comes up, it takes me underneath, and then I come right back up. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm grabbing. I'm like, stop panicking, like, come on. And then the guy on the jet ski just come get us, because I'm like, child.
Some strange guy on the jet ski comes and saves y'all and put y'all on the back of the jet ski.
Let me tell y'all what he said. Let me tell y'all what this man said when I got off the jet ski. This is Mexico for you. This is Mexico. He had got us off the jet ski. We get back to the shore. We on the sand.
After he rescued y'all.
I'm like, thank you so much. Gave him a little hug, you know. He said, oh, you're so beautiful like Beyonce. No, I'm not done yet, though. He said, oh, you're so beautiful like Beyonce. We take tips, too. Like, what you mean by that? This is your job. You are a lifeguard.
I saved your life. Can I get $5?
Exactly. Trying to compliment me like that was just going to make me be like, here, take all my money.
Oh, my God. You never told me that. I was just so mad when y'all told me what happened, because, you know, I don't fool with water like that. I don't trust water like that. If it's come up further than my ankle, actually the knees, I'm done. I don't fool with water like that. Mm-hmm. And I looked at your friend and I said, now how was I supposed to call your mama and tell her you drowned?
Exactly.
Like, how was I gonna call your mama and say, well, I don't know what happened, she went back in the water too? Like, if you come travel with me and you tell me you can swim, I think you know what you're talking about, because you know your body. I'm gonna tell you up front, I don't swim. Now, of course, I'm the first person to go get on a boat and all this other stupid stuff. Yeah. But when it comes to jet ski, when it comes to walking in the water past my comfort level, even, I don't know if you remember, but the first time we went to, not the first, maybe it was the first time we went to Destin, and we was at the beach, and, you know, me and you and Angie, we sat down in the water and just let the water just kind of, you know, wisp on us and everything. There was something weird about when we went out into the water a little bit. It's like, it seemed like you sink. No. It's like your feet sink in the sand, and it felt like when I stepped down that I was just gonna step into a nowhere, and I was like, see, this is why I don't trust water. I do not trust water like that. I stay away from deep water. I'm not trying to be funny, but I was 25 years old before I ever took a shower because I didn't want the water to hit my face.
Girl, you need therapy.
I thought I was going to drown. I did not take a shower before the age of 25. I took a bath, and that's it. Because I was like, no, this water is not going to hit my face, and then I wake up and I'm in a whole nother universe.
That'd be lit.
That would be lit now? That wouldn't have been lit then. You know, and the only reason why you saying that would be lit because you've seen too many episodes of Narnia. So your brain
is... Narnia.
But okay, y'all love Narnia.
That little thing, you know, that happened in the water, you know, it happened, but I can't say I do it again. And again. Again, I'm still going to get back in the water. And I'm still going to do what I do. You ain't got to
tell me but one time.
And that's really why it was hard for me to think of something that was like the worst memory, because I don't really have any bad memories. Right. But that's one. Move on and forget stuff and, like, you know, still do me.
I'm like that too. So, I can easily move on from things and people and stuff without letting them affect me. Yeah. Right. And, you know, when I say things like that to certain people, they look at it like, yeah, you think that's easy, that's you. But it's not about that. It's like, do you want to harp on that? And harp on, you know, how somebody negatively made you feel? You want to harp on that and ruin your happiness? Or do you want to say, I'm going to get over it and live my actual life? And if they did something, you know, stupid or wrong, that's their problem. And you have to move on.
Everybody can't do that, though. That's the thing.
I know everybody can't do it, but you're so much richer on the other side. And when I say richer, I'm talking about your emotions and everything. Yeah. Because if you let stuff harvest, it makes you a negative, sad person. And that's not a way to live. But anyway, if I had to say my best memory is, and this is going to sound so crazy because it sounds fake, but it happened for real. I was sitting in a conference networking in 2007, and they were having this discussion about this health conference was going to go to Canada. And the organization that was sponsoring it, they said, we don't even have anybody to go to take notes for us. And I was like, I'll do it. And they were like, is your passport up to date? I was like, nope, but I can go get a quick one. And they were like, okay, if you can go get your passport in the next 24 hours, then we will pay for you to go to Toronto, Canada. We're going to pay for your hotel. We're going to give you $500 to spend. We're going to make sure that you have, you know, tickets if you want to drink. I'm like, no, I don't drink. We'll give you shopping money and everything. This is 2007. We'll give you shopping money and everything. I was like, they lying. So anyway, I go downtown. I get my passport in one day, renewed and everything. Get that passport. I send it over to them. They literally booked my ticket. I don't even know how much it cost because I didn't care. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to Canada. And I got to go for a whole week. And all I had to do is go to each one of the health forums that they had. And I had to take notes and then just send it back to them. At that time, I didn't have a laptop to be emailing stuff back. But I had to get back and, you know, get them the notes and everything. But yeah, I had a great time. And they put me in the Sheraton Hotel in Toronto downtown that was attached to a never-ending mall. I went to the mall 3 days in a row and never could finish it. And I'm going to tell you why I couldn't finish it, because on the side, when you get inside the mall, it was 3 stories. So I don't know which one was the level of ground or not. I just was all over the mall by myself. I had met this one girl from Nebraska, but she was busy. And every time you would go out of the door, you would end up in another side of the city. So I was like, I never finished.
You in a crazy room.
I never finished. I never finished the mall because I would open up the door and then I'd be in a beautiful part of another side of Toronto or whatever. Because the mall, when I say it was never ending, I literally mean I don't think the mall ever ended. I should look up that Sheraton Hotel and
I'm about to look it up.
Yeah, Sheraton Hotel in downtown Toronto. But anyway, it was a great experience because I got a chance to meet people from all other different states and everything, and we all came to Canada for this health forum. And I still have all the paperwork and everything on it because it's just something that I really, really will never forget. And I would say my worst memory, I have a few, but my worst memory, gosh, I have a few and I don't know which one I want to say. I would say my worst memory is, I'll go ahead and say this one. My worst memory is on February the 1st, 2002. Because you were born in the year after you.
Yeah.
On my dad's birthday. I was on my way to the hospital to take him some balloons and stuff for his birthday. And I stopped at the gas station to get some gas and they called and said he died. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I'm on a mission. I came here to sing happy birthday to him and to take those balloons. So do you know what I did, Paiton?
What?
I still went in his room. I still sang happy birthday to him. And I still left those balloons in there because that's what I went to do. Mm. And so it's not a worse memory as in it makes me sad or it makes me want to cry or anything like that. But it's a worse memory because have you ever had a day where you had plans and you went through all of your plans and then something just took that plan away from you? And then you're just like, this is not what I planned. This is not the day I planned. This is not the day I planned on. But I am one of those people that I'm kind of strange about death, and I know that none of us are here forever. I know there are a lot of them that are being frozen, and a lot of them think that cryo is going to help them to be 80 and 90 and 100, but none of us are here forever. So that's why I always say we need to just enjoy every day as we can, and just do whatever we can while we're here, and wake up every day and decide today is going to be a good day, regardless of, who ticked you off or who's trying to be negative to you or who's trying to make your day a bad day. Child, please. I don't have even a little bit of time for anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. I don't have time for any of it. So that's my best and worst day. And again, like I said, I got a lot of worst days that I've gotten over. So that's why it's like I didn't even know which one to.
This mall looks pretty nice.
It was very nice, but it was one of those malls that was like this. It was straight back.
It is straight. It's shaped like an L.
So literally when I walked out of because like when we. Yeah, like when we went to when we go to Mexico and we stay in the Renaissance, and when we walk out of that door, everything is like an open mall. That you can almost compartmentalize. Where Buffalo Wild Wings is. Where H&M. Where all this stuff. That mall had no rhyme or reason. It had too many exits, too many detours, too many stores. It was 3-story, and it just seemed like every day I went, I never finished it. I don't even think I got all the way to the end or even middle way of the mall. And I said, if I ever go back to Toronto, I think I might want to stay in that hotel.
You haven't been back?
Since? Toronto. Oh yeah, I've been back twice, but not to downtown part of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then the one time I went through there was when me and Savon stopped in Toronto to go to Japan. And then another time I stopped in.
You didn't stay.
No. Because we didn't even we only were there for like 4 hours, so we didn't even get a chance to get an Uber and go around like we were going to do. We stayed at the airport. We ate. We, hung out, and there was literally nobody getting on our flight. I mean, it was a very easy flight, so we just kind of had the whole area where we were going to Japan. We had it all to ourselves with not many people. But no, I haven't been back there to explore it. One place I do want to go is other parts, like the
Calgary,
the French,
Calgary.
yeah. But yeah, that's the best and worst time, and I can't think of any others that I'm kind of like you said. Things happen, you move on. It's not like you get over it or you forget, but you move on so that it's called like coping mechanisms. You know, you cope with it and you move on, and you don't let it affect you in such a negative way that it paralyzes you, because that can happen.
That's what I always tell my friends, like when they always have like issues with other people or just like life in general. I'm always like, first off, life is not happening to you, it's happening for you.
Exactly.
And then I always tell them, like,
they're probably like, okay, Guru Paiton.
Girl, they be like, you're such a teacher. I'd be like, I know. But or to be like, I always tell them, try and see like what you learned from the experience, like what you would do again and what you know not. Like, I know not to go that far back in that ocean. Well, from her, not to go far back in that ocean. And I also
and if the waters look choppy, just
don't be in there like that. So like, I would do it again, but I would take
in a
better
different
care.
way.
Yeah, in a different way. That's why I say that's why I always tell people I don't really regret the stuff that I do, because it's like I learned something from it.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of the reason why I kind of now, maybe not in the past, but now I kind of lay off of y'all when something doesn't go the way I'm trying to tell you to do it, because I say, well, if I try to tell them the right way to do everything, then they're not going to be able to experience the wrong ways to correct themselves. Yeah. Exactly. It's a very, very frustrating.
Yeah. I always tell my friends, like, you can easily bypass situations from people telling you.
Yeah.
But
the
sometimes
lesson,
you just got to learn it. Like, it is what it is.
You got to learn it, especially in love. You got to learn it in business. Yeah. You got to learn it in whatever it is that you're trying to do in life. You got to learn it when you're trying to manage your time. You have to learn everything. Like me, I have what I do that I love for work, but then I also make this podcast a priority because I love talking. I'm not going to deny myself talking and sharing for nothing. Yeah. Like, too much time and too much effort has gone into, you know, me building something that I want to do. So I have to figure out how I can balance all of it. And I think trials and tribulations, things like that, teach you how to. Oh my God! No! This is gonna turn into a different kind of show.
Girl, that's what's up.
But anyway, so you know, I'm glad that you have that wisdom, though, that you can realize that it's not happening to you, but it's happening for you. Because it takes some people, you know, into their 30s and 40s to figure that out. But you know, one day I'll tell you about what happened to me when I was 25 and the light bulb came on. Because before then I was just existing, and I was just I was just a business owner, and it was just, you know, good to work for myself, and things were just kind of coasting, and all my walls in my entire house was white. Everything was white, and the light bulb came on when I was about 25, and I just have been making swift changes ever since then. And in the last couple of years, I've gotten worse. That I'm in the mood to cut off anything that's not serving me positively. Anything and anybody. I don't have the tolerance for any of it anymore. So it's just kind of like, I don't want to make any more worst days. I want there to be only the best days and lessons ahead, not the worst because of, you know, any particular
But is
thing.
it really worse? Is it really bad? I always see it as like,
I think it's bad only when it affects you for a period of time and you have to put things in place to manage it. Then I think that means that it's worse, because, you know, our brain is so powerful and it replays things. Yeah. Like just even you saying that about what happened to the girl that went on the trip with us about the water thing. When I said to you, how was I supposed to call her mama and tell her that she drowned in the ocean? Yeah. Like, can you imagine how many years that would have lived with me? Yeah. That would have been hard. And I'm just like looking at her going, and that was the first thing I said was, how was I supposed to call your mama and tell her this? Stay out the water. Like,
she just wants to have fun. You know, we in Mexico.
And that's fine. And I'm glad nothing tragic happened and all of that is great. But it's like, don't push your limits too much, especially when you're in a foreign country. Mm-hmm. Just like 1 year we went to, my group that I used to travel with, we went to Malaysia. And so, you know, when you're in Malaysia, you want to you're an Asian country, you want to try some of their different foods, right? Yep. So we go to the restaurant, and I knew things was going bad when they gave me some ice cream, but they called it ice milk. And it was literally some ice with some cream over it, and that was ice cream. So it was like drinking.
At least they one line. It's ice and cream.
It was horrible. I said if Paiton could never.
I'd be so mad. I'd be like, where's the sugar packet?
They were like, we're bringing ice cream to y'all and brought you that. You would have just fainted.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love milk and stuff.
So
but
then, so on that trip, I was so insecure about what I was going to be eating because I just didn't trust it. I knew at the hotel we was good. We was at the Royal Palace. We was good. But I knew when we went to restaurants, I was going to be in trouble. So I had brought me some of them little peanut butter cup things. I had took me some crackers. I had took me all kind of little snacks and Nutri-Grain, brought everything in my bag because I was like, y'all not finna catch me starving. We go to the same restaurant that gave us the iced milk, and they had this pot, and in the pot you were supposed to put like your raw egg, your raw fish, your just all of this stuff, and then you were supposed to eat it all raw. And I kept telling them, I said, y'all don't do it. Don't do it, because we were supposed to be meeting Deepak Chopra. You probably don't know him.
I know him.
Okay, well, good. We supposed to be meeting Deepak Chopra, and I really wanted to get a picture with him. I wanted to meet him. He was our guest speaker for the weekend. Yeah. We were at a Napoleon Hill 100-year anniversary thing, and not an anniversary thing. We were at the, they created a play behind Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Anyway, I was like, I'm not finna get sick. This one guy that was there, and his father had gone to medical school with Deepak Chopra, and his father had given him some letters that he wanted him to give to Deepak. Here you over here eating food that you don't know nothing. You can't even pronounce it. You don't know what you're doing. Eating raw fish. You cannot do. You're in another country. He ate the food and ended up in the emergency room. Couldn't even give the letters to Deepak. Didn't tell us where the letters were so we could give it to him. He ended up throwing up his guts and ended up in a foreign hospital. Him and like 3 or 4 other people got sick. And I kept saying, I promise, I told y'all, if it wasn't a priority for y'all to meet Deepak the next day, don't worry about it. But for y'all who y'all had a specific mission, like this guy had letters from his father, I'm just like, don't do it. I was so mad the next day.
Sometimes it don't even be like the food, but it's just we live in a different country.
Yes.
Our stomachs are used to different foods. We're not used to
it could be something as simple as the fish was so fresh. It didn't set with your... Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Understand that.
And it's, I'm not saying... Yeah, it's not like you're not saying... Right. Nobody's saying the food was nasty. Nobody's saying it wasn't good. I'm saying like the fresh food or the fresh eggs that you ate probably did not... Because a lot of countries don't use food with GMOs and all this stuff we have over here. So it just means that something hit your stomach and went, oh no, this is different. Because that's how I felt when I went to Italy. I couldn't eat the whole time. I had my peanut butter and crackers. And I ate that every day until I went out into the city and went to American restaurants. But I couldn't eat the food in Italy because it was so fresh. It didn't have any GMOs. It was real Italian food. So it just the taste of it was just horrible to me. But other people really, really loved it. Even I tried the pizza and everything. And my saving grace was my limonata. Oh, yeah. I need you to go get me some more of them.
$3 per.
Oh, well, give me one, dude. But that's our show for today, and that was exciting to talk about. A lot of people have those worst days, and they don't ever want to talk about them again. Yeah. Because they feel like, it's going to drag up something, in me but I like the way my brain does things. It'll bring something bad up or negative up or worse thing up, and then I'll just review it and I'll go through it in my head, and I'll be like, that happened. Mm-hmm. That really, really happened. So it just is what it is. It's already happened in the past. I can't take it back. And even if I could time travel, I wouldn't even go back and take it back. Have you ever felt like that? No. Like even if you could time travel, you wouldn't take something back?
No. I'll always tell myself like not to regret or not to think too much about the things that I have done. Right. But I've never told myself that I would change what I've done. Exactly. Like, I've never felt like I needed to. Yeah. Like I learned it for a reason and I didn't learn it for a reason. Right. Or
you're gonna repeat it again and learn something better, right?
Exactly. And I can always sometimes tell when I close like certain cycles of certain things that go on in my life, because then like stuff starts to change around me. So,
exactly.
I never really regret the stuff that I do as far as like anything that I have to think about that's like too bad or like the choices I've made. I kind of just it happened for me.
I'm glad you're telling your friends that too, because here's something funny, and you may not hear it again until maybe 10-20 years from now, but sometimes you can tell friends stuff and you might not think they get it at that point, but they remember it.
And they'll get it when it's time to get it.
The old saying is, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Yeah. And that's, a metaphoric type of thing. But that saying that I told you Louise Dewey said about when something bad comes to her mind and she says, thank you for sharing. She told me that 25 years ago. Yeah. I just never forgot it. There are things that people told me 20, 30 years ago that I'm just now going, oh.
I get what you're saying.
That's how stupid were you not to get it then? Well, because you weren't ready to receive it like that. Yeah.
Understand. That's something I was thinking about something the other day that you had told me like a long time ago. Like I think you told me when I had first started high school. It was something. I forgot what it was. It was something you said, and it had popped into my head, and I was like, Oh, I get what she means by that now. Because, like, at the time, of course, I didn't understand. I'm like, okay,
it doesn't make sense.
You. Yeah, I'm like,
yeah,
okay,
it doesn't make sense if you don't have the, the experience.
Either the experience or, like, the open-mindedness to actually understand it. Some stuff you don't have to go through to,
right, because it's, like, plain.
Yeah, but, like, I forgot what, it's going to pop into my head again.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what people mean when they say or like even old sayings like that old people say. I'm like, oh, so this is what they mean when they say this, or this is what they mean when they tell you this. It's cool. I love like when I remember stuff like that.
You know what made me sad a few months ago? I said to myself,
don't be sad, be glad.
No. This was a sentimental moment. I said, it's a shame that I'll be dead and gone by the time you realize half of the things I've said. I don't think so. I think so, because it's just the way it goes.
Sometimes.
It's just the way it goes, that sometimes somebody's already dead and gone and you're like, I remember when. Let me give you an example. You never met her because you were too young. No, she was already gone. My Aunt Elnora, she used to tell us so many things when I was a teenager, and we used to laugh at her because we were like, oh my gosh, she's the first conspiracy theorist I ever knew. She used to say things like, well, these doctors just want to give all these old people medicines because they trying to get rid of us. They want us to be on 45 medications and don't nobody care about. The other thing she says, don't nobody care about elderly people. Don't nobody check on us. Don't nobody want to do this. And because I used to take it to the grocery store, so I used to have to hear everything, because it was not going to hurt me to take her to Kroger's. Like, it's no big deal. But anyway, she used to say so many things that here I am 20, almost 30 years later, and I'm like, that's what I understand now. All of her conspiracy theories that she had back in the day that we used to absolutely laugh like, okay, she crazy. Now it's like, we was crazy not to be listening. But when you hear people say things but then you haven't either experienced it or you don't see it in your realm, right, or it hasn't happened to you, don't know anybody else who's happened to, you just feel like these are conspiracies. But if we think about all of the so-called conspiracies that we've been hearing over the last 50 years, they're showing up though.
Yeah, and
everything
is come from. Who said it?
Exactly. But
somebody knows something.
Everything is showing up right now, though. And we're just like, so-and-so said that. Nostradamus said that. Or
oh my gosh,
Einstein
I just
said
learned
that.
About him, too.
Did you? I learned about him when I was about 16, and I got hooked. I read everything.
Oh, my God. Do you have any of the books in the
I do.
I want to read all
I do.
I went into a deep dive, and I looked at, like, everything that he was saying about, what's her name? Barbara whatever, or Dolores something.
Who?
Dolores Cannon or something like that. I think that's her name. How she channeled him and wrote those books about him and stuff like that. And then how he had wrote his girl, I just did that.
I think now because we're in a digital age, I think if you really want to learn anything about what Nostradamus said then that we see today, there is a YouTube video, and it talks about every single. See, back in the day, I used to have to get the National Enquirer, which was like the gossip magazine that everybody told you don't believe in. My Aunt Elnora said, if it's in the Enquirer, believe it, because their families be telling on them, and National Enquirer is not going to put their name on the line to be lying about nobody. And she used to buy them 75-cent National Enquirer, and we used to be like, oh, I should be reading this dumb gossip. It's so now, baby, you wish you could get a National Enquirer because they're not around anymore. But that's why I first read anything about Nostradamus is in one of her National Enquirers that I wasn't supposed to be reading. But I was like, how is it that they can call this man crazy when he said all this stuff way back then? It's been documented, but then it's showing up now. And
this is way back when. This is not.
It's kind of like all the stuff Tesla said.
This is not the 19th century, the 18th. This is way before that.
Way before that.
This is even before that.
This is way before that. Dang. Which takes you kind of on a deep dive, because you start to wonder about aliens. You start to wonder about how the world came to be. You start to wonder about why people used to worship the sky and why that was so important. It really makes you wonder
about how lost are we?
Oh, we are so lost. We are getting, and I think these computers have dumbed us down even more. Because I know when I was a kid, I used to love to be able to go grab a dictionary or encyclopedia or something like that and sit and read about people and things and do that. Now it's almost like they want to erase history, where they keep removing things and adding these new fancy, so that now when you go back and you read it, you're like, huh. Which is so funny, because somebody said, when I was a kid, the book called The Berenstain Bears was Berenstein. Now it's Bernstein. And I was like, that's okay. I have my book from 1970 something in the garage.
So is it Berenstein or Berenstein? A or E?
E. I got it in the garage right now. It's an E. So I got my book from when I was a little kid, because I have a box of books, and I was just looking at last week when I was cleaning out the garage. I have a box of books that y'all had when y'all was kids. I found my Barbie books. I loved my Barbie books.
Come on, Barbie.
Found my Barbie books and everything, and I was just like, I'm gonna hold on to this memorabilia.
I think I heard that the reason why that has changed is because like CERN was doing stuff. You know how they do that stuff with what's it called?
They call it the Mandela effect.
Yeah, so the Mandela effect, and how people were like, we thought he already been dead. I thought he was alive to this day. I didn't know that. I thought he was still alive. So when he died and everybody's talking about the risk, I heard that CERN is doing stuff that's causing ripples in like the time, whatever. So like it's causing stuff to shift and change.
In 2022, I've already been through 2 time warps. That you can laugh if you want, but that one me and Angie went through in Walmart.
Y'all did say that.
Right, and the second one, I was just like, I can't even remember it, but I said, not this again. I remember saying, not this again. And I was just like, the shift. You shifted somewhere. Well, also something weird happened. I was laying in the bed, but I could feel the ground moving. Something moved, and I thought, oh, okay. And I wasn't even scared. I was just like, yeah, okay, y'all right. I acknowledged it, and I said, okay, I got you. I hear you.
I had one too. It's okay. It's weird. This actually just happened to me a couple weeks ago, and I never understood what y'all was talking about. I'm like, y'all just crazy. Like,
no, we replayed it and walked back through and was like, yes, that happened.
I'll never forget it. I was outside. I'm in public. People are all around me. I'm in the grass, me and Alexa. We're laying down.
Grounding.
I had a bracelet. We literally were laying on our backs, like facing the sun, and we were just up like this. Like we had our hands faced up, and we were just like, we're just going to sit here for a little bit, be quiet, and just, be in the sun. I have this bracelet. It's the green aventurine. It's a crystal. And I was like, I'm going to put this by my heart because I'm sitting in the sun right now. I'm going to put it by my heart. I don't want it to get discolored. Well, it's on my wrist because the sun can discolor crystals. So I'm going to put it right here. When I got up, it was next to me. And I was like, Alexa, you saw me put this in my bra. Like, I put it.
Don't it make you wonder, like, did I do that or did I dream that?
Right. Like, was that real? I was like, you saw me do it. So I sat there like this literally for like 15 minutes. She was like, Paiton, are you ready to go? Like, she was like, we've been done with our little meditation. Like, are you ready? I'm like, I cannot leave. Like, why was it next? It wasn't next to me, like, on the little thing that we were laying on. It was on the grass. Like, it was just sitting right there.
How? Exactly.
So I was like,
that's the scary thing is when you become. That's a scary thing, and when I say scary, I mean in a great way. It's the scary thing when you become aware. And for example, the dreams that I've been having in the last 2 months are just way too vivid. Way too real, way too...
Like, did I actually do that?
No. I know I didn't do it because I've been dreaming that I'm getting married and that I got married and, like, literally it's the same dream every single time, the same dream. I'm looked the same way, the man looks the same way, where it happens is the same way, y'all in the audience is the same way, with something small in Vegas. It was just like, why am I dreaming every single night over and over again I'm marrying the same person every single time? It's like it already happened in the past. Yeah. It's kind of weird to me, but I'm just going to take it with whatever stride because,
shifting all day, every day. I feel like I'll be jumping back and forth to different times. Like, every decision you make makes a shift.
There was this show on ABC 13 that I fell in love with, and it was called Time Something. And the characters.
The Twilight Zone.
No. I wish I could see the one Jordan Peele did, but I don't have that channel that he's got his stuff on. But it was something about time. I'm gonna find it while I'm talking to you. But I fell in love with this show but the one thing I didn't like is that when they would go back in time, they would change things. Like they would stop like a bomb. Time series.
They said that there's like this base in New Mexico that's basically invisible because it exists in the future.
What?
But they come back in time and they like they don't prevent stuff from happening, but they like help with like different. And that's also from Nostradamus. Like I had read and saw something like that was on there too that he was talking about, and I was like, that's crazy. The base is set up in the future, but they're always here. And like Nostradamus always said, time is simultaneous.
It's called Timeless. It's called Timeless.
seen a couple
I
episodes.
love these actors, Abigail Spencer, Matt Lather.
What year is that? Didn't they recreate the show?
No, I hope they put it on Netflix because I would like to start it over. It's got it's called Time. Oh my gosh, this show, I love it. It started in 2017, and the last time I actually saw it was in 2020 or 2021. And then I don't know if it's still on. I have to look into it. It said that I don't know who the crossing is, but anyway, it was just so inspiring. 7-time travel. Oh, okay, so it's got other time travel, but I love anything that has to do with time travel. I don't like when they go back and try to change certain things, but I do like this one because it changed from certain people getting killed. And here's what was exciting: if this person got killed, then this person and that person wouldn't be born. And so if they weren't be born, then we wouldn't have certain presidents.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So it's just very, very, very interesting on how strange things happen.
I forgot how I even got into that. I think I had started out by reading about Eisenhower doing that deal at the Holloman base.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it all started. And then Nostradamus came up. And then
And didn't you find it interesting, though?
What?
Nostradamus.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting.
Very interesting. He even gave the birth chart to the Antichrist.
Exactly.
And he's an Aquarius.
I knew you were sold off.
We are psychopaths.
Yeah, I think that also, and this is just me being a conspiracy theorist, I think that some of these people go back in higher power. Some of these people go back and they change things so that his stuff won't be true. So it's make it look like he's crazy or something. We're not going to let this happen because that he already predicted it.
He said that it's all happening at the same time. So,
right.
He's alive right now. You could go back and channel him and stuff like that. Or Dolores Cannon could. She did it through, hypnosis, a specific type of hypnosis. I want to read her books, too.
You think you could be hypnotized?
I think I can. I have a very open mind. I have an open mind. Probably the first time I'd probably be no, my mind wouldn't let me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I could, because I can meditate very well and get into a deep trance on my own. But yeah, I think I could.
Okay. Well, that's our show for today. Make sure you continue subscribing. Make sure that you join our Instagram page. That's motherdaughter-ish with an _. And also, make sure if you would like to donate to our podcast, it's $mdipodcast. And tell your friends. Make sure you like our show, but give us a comment because we love to read the comments. I like responding back to them to just let you know that we did read them. And anything else, Paiton?
No, that's it. Stay safe. It's hot outside.
It's hot outside, depending on where you are, huh?
Yeah, pack some water because it is spicy outside.
I love it. I love all that spice. I mean, I take that spice over that cold weather
Y'all
any day. You know, I have to tell you, this year was the first year we went skiing, and I didn't feel like I absolutely froze. You notice I didn't complain too much?
Really? I thought you were cold because you kept saying it.
Usually, I would be complaining about how I'm freezing, and when we went on the snowmobile thing, I would have been completely complaining, but I didn't even complain this year. I was just like,
either my snowmobile, the thing heated up so hard it burned through my gloves.
No, so now you got to get new gloves.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, but mine didn't burn through, but it was really, really warm on there. But it just seemed like I was like, okay, it's cold. I'll get over it.
That's why.
Yeah, that could be it too. But that snow, when you look at it on our pictures, it looked like we were in a blizzard.
I didn't like that it was snowing. I feel like that
stopped us a little bit,
but it was going into my jacket and on my neck. My ears were freezing.
I couldn't wear my glasses, so I already could hardly see. Mm-hmm. So then the ice was hitting my eyes. I had to hold my head a certain kind of way so that my helmet could, get it off. But I thought when I get back, I'm gonna have ice all in my eyes, and I know that can't be good for the eyeballs. But I was just like...
That's the thing about being out there. People don't realize that...
But you couldn't wear your glasses because it was fogging up where you wouldn't be able to see.
Yeah,
and he was like, well, you got to take your glasses off. I was like...
People don't realize you're not just out there for 5-10 minutes.
Exactly. That was literally an hour or two.
Yep. Yeah, so you're literally having to be wet and be hit with snow ice for 40 minutes. And it is tiring. I was tired. My body was sore. My head was hurting because remember I had that cold hat on.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I hope my head's not gonna be wet because I'm gonna get sick. I'm gonna be done.
You'll be done.
But I was good. I took the hat off as soon as I got in the bus. So.
Exactly. All right. Yeah. Well, that's our show for today, and until next time, bye for now.
Bye y'all.